Hey guys, Jay! Welcome back to the channel. So guys, a secret sale on Hasbro Pulse outlet store seems to have come up out of nowhere. To be perfectly honest with you, there wasn't any real fanfare on this. I didn't get an email in my inbox, and again, I don't get many emails from Hasbro Pulse as it is, but I did want to highlight a few different bargains that I found on this particular sale, particularly the multi-packs. Those are really cool. And a couple of really cool Star Wars sales that I saw on this particular outlet, which I think are really good value for the money. I do have to say this is kind of a troubling sign, maybe, because as we know, Hasbro is going through some rough times right now, laying off a ton of people and, looking at some write-downs for 2024, early 2024 at that. And I wonder if this actually may be a sign of things to come. Let's take a deep dive into this, guys, because this one is definitely one to pay attention to. Let's have a look. So, if you go onto Hasbro Pulse, the first thing you'll see, of course, is the Hasbro Pulse 3.0 Commando Snake Eyes figure, which is amazing. You'll see the Omega Prime HasLab, which is still going, and of course, multiple figures that are being promoted on the site, especially this MDLX 3.0 Thundercracker. Absolutely crazy. But all the way at the bottom of the page, and this is where it's pretty crazy, it's at the bottom of the page. Obviously, they want some people to know about this and some people to not know about this. Kind of weird. That's right, guys. There's an outlet banner down here. And if we click on Shop Now, it sent us to the outlet page. And this is where things get really interesting. Because scrolling down, we can see that there's a ton of different figures on sale at outlet prices. These things are pretty crazy. I wanted to go through this because there are some prices in here which aren't as good as the prices for Black Friday. But I do have to say, if you've been keeping your eye on certain figures and were a little bit gun shy in terms of picking one up for the full retail price, this actually might be the chance to pick them up for pretty decent prices. Again, not as good as Black Friday, but still pretty decent. So we're definitely going to start with the Marvel presentations, and this one's actually a lot of fun, everybody. Check these out. We have some early sellouts right off the bat. The Marvel Legends series Smythe and Peter Parker was originally listed at $52.99, now selling for $37.91 on this outlet sale, completely sold out. Of course, this is a great two-pack, having Peter Parker from the animated series and Smythe. Really fun characters. And of course, a lot of people were holding back on this because the price was okay, but again, a little bit pricey just for a Peter Parker figure. Then again, people love Spider-Man and Peter Parker. So in terms of what this could be and what it is now, it's no wonder that it sold out relatively quickly. This is the one that really caught my attention. It was a much better deal on Black Friday, but I gotta tell you, having the Marvel series Banshee, Gambit, and Psylocke figures in their training uniforms at only $49.04, down from $79.99, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, if you know the book, if you know where this is referencing from, Giant issue number 275, which I have in my collection, you'll know that these characters are very sought after by hardcore X-Men fans, and to have these characters the way they are in this particular design looks pretty damn cool. And for a pretty decent savings, I definitely would encourage everybody to think about picking these guys up, because this is a set that could really look handsome on your shelf and really impressive as well if you are a fan of that particular comic book. And not to be outdone, the other pack, which was Forge, Storm, Jubilee, is also down to $57.29, down from $79.99. A little bit more expensive, but still a great set to have overall. Again, completing your training uniform, X-Men. This one's a really great deal. Once again, not nearly as good as what it was on Black Friday, but still, for these particular characters, a lot of fun, especially if you were a fan of that particular comic book issue when it came out. Another really fun set right now, Shield Agent Trooper and Hydra Trooper 2-pack. This one's a lot of fun. Comes with a host of different heads, which can be swapped on either character. And by that, this is a really good army builder. And not such a great savings, but decent enough that I think people can definitely get into army building this. Originally $49.99 down to $34.99 right now. That's two characters for basically a little over what a figure is selling for right now at retail. Not bad, and the amount of different options that you get, the swappable hands, the blasters, the 3 different headsets, along with masked head and a helmeted head for the Hydra Trooper and Shield Agent Trooper. pretty damn cool, especially if you are looking to army build female characters in either faction. Very, very cool for only $34.91. This is the one which I think a lot of people, if you're kind of on the fence on it, would probably be a really good one. This is Detroit Steel, originally listed at $49.99, now $34.91. A lot of people don't even know who this character is. It, of course, is a Hulkbuster, dressed up as Detroit Steel. There are a lot of people who had problems with this particular version, considering it the fact that it's really not Detroit Steel. It's just a recolored Hulkbuster. There were a lot of people who were kind of like, this is kind of cheap, and decided not to pick this one up. But now that it's come down a little bit in price, it might actually be worth picking up for your collection. It really depends on if you're into this type of character, as this one is kind of in the spirit of the Detroit Steel, but not really Detroit Steel. Moving on to the Star Wars offerings in the outlet sale. There's a ton of different figures here, but I just wanted to highlight a few of them which really caught my eye. Many of these are figures which have been on the market for quite some time, but the ones that really caught my eye were, in fact, the Star Wars Black Series Rebel Trooper from Endor. This is a great pack out. Unfortunately, it has sold out. It was one of the earlier sellouts at $21.91, down from $33.99. It's no wonder. This guy can become two figures in one. He's got two different face swaps, and of course, a host of different accessories. He really is a great army builder, and of course, if you pick up a bunch of them, you can make them in multiple different configurations, multiple different troopers to build up the army. This was a really great buy, and for the savings that you get on this particular outlet sale, it really was a no-brainer for people to pick this up right away. The Star Wars Black Series Royal Guard and Pilot 2-pack, this was a real head-scratcher when it was put up for sale. I mean, the Carbon Collection idea was neat for a while, but I think a lot of people have sort of, been weaned off of it for the most part. I really do like the idea of the Emperor's Royal Guard being re-released again in any fashion, but the carbonized versions, for the price, just didn't seem worth it for a lot of people. So the fact that it's come down all the way down from $69.99 down to $44.09 is a really good price. If you're planning on picking these guys up, now is the time. They're basically the cost of one figure each, which is pretty much what they should have been right from the beginning. For the Retro Collection, we do have the Star Wars Retro Collection Forlom and Zuckuss, which of course were two bounty hunters from the original series from Empire Strikes Back. These guys did look really cool standing on the bridge of Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, and a lot of people have hoped to be able to pick these guys up eventually. And in this 2-pack, they really were pretty cool to collect, but at $27.99 down to $17.54, right now is a really good time to pick these guys up, as this is a great opportunity for this set. A really cool fan favorite, of course, is Star Wars The Vintage Collection Kersantin, and he's down from $39.99, which is a ridiculous price, all the way down to $19.91. This is a really cool price, pretty much the cost of a regular Vintage Collection figure, and for a deluxe figure of this size, you'd think that $39.99 would just be outrageous in terms of its price, and it really was. So coming down to $19.91 is a real good option for anybody looking to pick up Kersantin for their Vintage Collection. This 4-pack Army Builder for the Phase 2 Clone Trooper 212th Division is a really good price, coming down from $60 all the way down to $39.91. And honestly, I love the new head sculpts for these guys, really give them a whole bunch of personality, and having an additional set of Clone Troopers at this price for your army building is a really great option. Star Wars The Vintage Collection Speeder Bike at $25.91 down from $44.99. An amazing price to be had. This, of course, is the Vintage Collection version with Grogu in the satchel. It's always great to be able to pick up a couple of speeder bikes at a decent price, and it looks like these will be available until they sell out on the outlet sale. This one really caught my attention. It's the Jabba the Hutt Black Series figure with Salacious Rum and the hookah jar. This one's $49.91, all the way down from $89.99. Guys, do not miss out on this particular figure. He was very sought after originally when he came out, and is still selling for quite a pretty penny if you got the SDCC exclusive edition. He comes with a lot of great accessories, including this hookah jar and, of course, Salacious Rum. This is nearly $30 off of the $90 figure, and you should really take advantage of this, as Jabba the Hutt Black Series, a lot of people have been waiting to be able to get him with the traditional retro-style packaging. So definitely, guys, pick this guy up if you have a chance. Star Wars Black Series Pablo is also on sale for $14.91. This is a pretty cool figure. Again, if you're into Ewoks, Return of the Jedi classic cards, that's the real reason why you want to pick this guy up. I still have a funny feeling this is not the right character on the card, but then again, I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me in the comment section below, but I don't think this is the same guy. Again, I could be completely wrong in this, but for half the price of what it originally lists at, you can't go wrong by picking this guy up. Here we have the Star Wars The Black Series Darth Vader Force Effects Elite Lightsaber, originally priced at $278.99 all the way down to $188.09. That's a great savings. If you are collecting the Force Effects lightsabers, this is a really great one, as of course, Darth Vader is a fan favorite, and this brand new lightsaber has been on a lot of people's radars, especially because it comes with that brand new display stand. It looks amazing. Only $188.09. Act fast, guys. This one might not last too much longer. Another really great buy, of course, is the Boba Fett Starship. It's Slave One, everybody. We know that. But this rebranded edition, which was for the Book of Boba Fett, with new paint deco and a flight stand, which is really cool to be able to display it, also comes with Boba Fett himself from Morag, as well as, I think that's a carbonite chamber, I'm not 100% sure, and the cells, which were in the actual series. This is a great pickup for only $124.63, down from $199.99. About $75 savings on this one. It's a pretty good value, and something you should definitely be picking up if you're into the vehicles for Star Wars. And to round off the army building troopers, we do have the Black Series Storm Patrol. We do have the Black Series Stormtrooper Jedha Patrol officers. These guys are great as another army building set. They're not as well discounted as other figures, but they are down to $17.99, down from $24.99. This, of course, is the Jedha Patrol Stormtrooper with his backpack, shoulder pauldron, and additional rifle. This is a wonderful addition to any Star Wars collection, especially during the Black Series. And of course, if you are army building, you can't go wrong with a few more Stormtroopers in your collection. Pick them up now for $17.97. Moving on to the G.I. Joe collection. There aren't that many on sale right now, but what is on sale is pretty interesting in terms of its overall. But what is here is actually very interesting. The first of which, of course, comes as no surprise. The G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Strike Team Baroness Tomax and Zaymot was a whopping $89.99, and now it's been discounted all the way down to $62.91. A great value for this set. I did a review of this with my buddy Mike's version, and I gotta tell you, in terms of what you get, it's actually a pretty good value, but a lot of people were concerned that $89.99 was a bit too pricey for figures we'd already gotten and just being repainted. I do have to say though, for 3 figures at $89.99, it wasn't a bad deal at all. But now that it's down to $62.91, why wouldn't you pick up this set? It really is amazing, and I do encourage everybody to grab this if they are trying to complete their G.I. Joe Classified series. Moving on to the Transformers, this one is definitely a line which goes up and down in price regularly, but for some of the figures that were featured on this particular outlet sale, I wanted to highlight a few of them which really caught my attention. The first of which, of course, is Blitzwing. This is a really good value, from $54.99 all the way down to $29.91. This is an amazing set. I still don't understand what those 2 hand pieces are on the back, but you can use them however you wish. If you're into dead Transformers, you can't go wrong with Studio Series Ironhide and Prowl. These guys are literally dead. They've been blasted in the chest and blasted, literally having smoke come out of their tailpipes, or in this case, their mouths. This is absolutely crazy, and I'm still in shock that they're actually selling dead Transformers in any sort of capacity. But they are now discounted from $54.99 all the way down to $41.91. Not a bad price if you want to commemorate 2 of the best Transformers in the series dying at the hands of Megatron. If you're into the Japanese version of Beast Wars, Evolution Maximal Leo Prime is down to $19.91 all the way down from $34.99, and he looks amazing. Definitely a figure which not a lot of North American fans are going to know, but he does look pretty awesome in both Lion mode and, of course, his bot mode as well. A true Prime in every sense of the word. He looks absolutely amazing, and even better at $19.91. Transformers Legacy Wreck and Rule Collection Diaclone Universe Twin Twist. This one's a lot of fun. I had these guys. They were auto-transforming Transformers. You would pull them back on the floor to wind up their motor, and they would literally kick themselves upwards and transform automatically. And he really does look cool. He's originally priced at $24.99 down all the way to $17.55. Rounding out the set, this G.I. Joe mashup, and really the only way you can get O-Ring Stalker on a retro card. This one's a lot of fun if you're into these crossovers. I personally am not really into them, but if you have been trying to complete your O-Ring collection, you kind of had to buy this one. And this huge savings from $68.99 down to $43.19 is a really good opportunity to pick up Stalker and Bumblebee in one cohesive pack. Moving on to the Power Rangers, there were a lot of great outlet deals here, and I wanted to highlight a few of them just because they caught my attention. The first of which was this Power Rangers Lightning Collection Omega Rangers figure collection. 4 different Rangers, originally priced at $99.99, down $30, down to $69.91. I'm not really into this collection, but if you are a fan of the comics and really appreciated this version, which of course was the original Rangers whose mission did not end when they retired, this is a great set at $69.91. Another really cool enemy in the Power Rangers collection is, of course, the Mighty Minotaur. This one's a really cool buy from $33.99 down to $20.91. Definitely don't miss out on this guy. He really is one of the iconic monsters in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers collection. If you're into cosplay or just like collecting some of the weapons from the iconic series, the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger Power Dagger set was originally listed at $131.99 down to $89.91. That's a great savings. Really celebrating the history of Power Rangers, and you can add this to your collection for this great price. Guys, I gotta tell you, this, dare I say it, secret outlet sale has been one which has raised a whole bunch of eyebrows, particularly in my circles. But if it is something which you're interested in, now's a great time to pick up some of these figures at pretty damn good prices. Not nearly as good as the Black Friday sales this past December, as I said, but still pretty comparable in terms of what you actually get for value for many of these figures and multi-packs. I don't know exactly what's going on. This was kind of a secret sale, then again, kind of not. I mean, a lot of us are talking about this now, but you'd think that if they want to get rid of some of their inventory, they would have, sent out multiple email blasts, let a lot of different people know. I am a Hasbro Premium Plus member, and I had no clue that this was even a thing. So, very strange on the part of Hasbro not to advertise this. And I'm just sort of, baffled by this overall marketing scheme of theirs. But regardless of that, this is a great opportunity if you haven't picked up many of these figures already and are looking to fill out your collection. Some of the sales are really, really good. Some of the sales are kind of mediocre. However, I will say, in terms of the multi-packs, it actually is pretty good value for money. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Are you interested in picking up anything on this outlet sale on Hasbro Pulse? This is the first major one of 2024, I think. I think there was one other one earlier in the year, but this one's pretty damn good in terms of trying to clear out their stock, at least. I'm curious, though, because this might be a sign of... this actually might be a troubling sign of things to come. After all, we do know that Hasbro is going through some tough times right now, and I guess any money that they can get in at this stage would be a good deal. But that means only good things for us consumers, and I guess it's better than finding them at major liquidation stores like Ollie's or Ross, as those are never good looking for any sort of company. Let me know in the comments in the comment section below, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. And if you're in the position to help out the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon page. It's Mega J Retro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons and channel members of this channel help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do it without them. They are the best. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really means the world to me. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Secret sales. Am I right? Good journey, everybody. Geek proud.